Welcome back to Brashenomics. Well, you guys know I'm a big Seahawks fan, and so I'm especially excited to introduce Joe Tafoya and Kerry Carter, who, although no longer play with the Seahawks, have embarked into the what I would call the new gold rush. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Hey, Ben. Thanks. Doing great.
Excellent, man. Thanks for having us.
Well, so you guys have now gone from the playing field of the NFL to kind of the playing field of what everybody is trying to get into, which is mobile technology and apps. It seems that that's ever since Angry Birds, which was kind of like winning the lottery 10 times over for those guys. A lot of people want to know more about it, understand that industry, and you guys have, I guess, for lack of a better term, taken your talents to the mobile technology industry. How did that come to be?
Yeah, we were looking for a way to make the transition from the NFL into the business world, and we looked at a couple of different opportunities in the investment space. We looked at renewable energy, we were looking at real estate, and the opportunity to get into mobile came up. And I've got a background in communication at the University of Arizona, and I studied management information systems as well. So it's something I have an affinity for computers. I've been called a tech nerd before. Not to my face, except by one person.
and who told you that? Let's be.
It was Steve Ballmer. He said, "Joe, you're literally the largest tech nerd I've ever met." He's looking at me. But
if there's one person going to be called a tech nerd by, I guess Steve Ballmer classifies as probably the number one.
Yeah. I guess that's a badge of honor for me. But after football's over with, you start looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, who am I? And you need to really, focus on making this transition and re-identifying yourself. And so we put a group of guys together, myself and Kerry and Chike O'Keefer. You remember him? He used to play for the Seahawks for a while. And we went in and acquired this company, this little mobile company that had been doing mobile applications for 11 plus years. And we took it over. And now we're running a mobile application software development company.
And so it's called Viva Vision.
Correct.
And so when you talk about running this, like, what are you doing exactly?
Well, I'm the...
No, not you personally.
Oh, okay.
What's the company do?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What do you do?
What are you doing here?
I want to know every day what you're doing.
I was going to give you a title, but
I email people, we answer the phone, and develop things.
No, Joe doesn't answer phones.
No. Well,
he answered when I called him. I win.
Yeah, okay. Send me a text. That works. Or Twitter. Yeah. So we build mobile applications, and the company has a legacy application development platform. And what that means is those old feature phones that are in your drawers at your parents' house, or if you find them out on the street and you just kick them down in the gutter, we build applications for those. And we've got this really interesting platform that we bought that we're able to reskin these applications over and over and over and over and over and create brand new products out of them, and then serve them up to the Verizons of the world, AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, and now some of the emerging markets like India, China, Africa, Latin America. This is where we're finding the biggest feature phone adoption rate. So we're serving up our applications into those emerging market regions. And
so, what are the applications? I mean, what are some of the apps? Because they're more they're entertainment based, or what are they?
Yeah, they vary quite a bit, but they are entertainment based. Originally, once we got involved with the company, we saw they had a lot of business-to-business applications, so we took content from companies like Disney, Car and Driver, Playboy, put them into our application, our technology, and served them out. Basically, we were the distribution arm for those companies when it came to mobile applications. And so we do everything from like cute and funny pets to, hot and
sexy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
you
all
have to
sorts
have a vast offering.
For so we have a pretty good package.
Operators.
So are they uploaded to, like, say, the app stores, or, yeah?
Yeah, so...
Because you said Verizon and
I did.
AT&T, but, I mean, is it also like the Apple App Store, Google, like Android markets, things of that nature, or is it a little bit different?
Those are the open marketplaces.
Yeah. Okay.
And so in the world of feature phones, AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile, all the mobile network operators, they actually have their own storefronts. And so we go directly to them and we say, can you serve these applications up in your storefront for your customers? And they tell us, here's what we're looking for. We're looking for something educational.
Hot chicks and cute
We're looking
pets.
well, that's the stuff that sells.
Yeah. We try to get creative, though.
Yeah. And so we serve them the applications, and then they put them out into their own specific application storefronts. Now, we've started migrating a little bit. I mean, that's really the gold rush, right? Is people are migrating over into the open marketplaces like iOS and Android, and Windows is emerging now.
BlackBerry's dying.
Yeah, RIM. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's going down.
Yeah,
We have applications for RIM, too.
They canceled their what is it? The BlackBerry 10 operating system.
Yeah. Well, I think it was getting a little cost intensive, and they saw the signs. So
Yeah.
probably a good decision by them.
Yeah, so we have applications. We just bundle them up, and we send them over. And they pay us.
Sounds like a good
Pretty
deal.
simple.
Yeah. The gold rush, like we were talking about, is people. There's so much talent out there right now. There are so many now developers, people that were in the back room, the kind of nerdy guys. They're starting to move towards the forefront. Developers are where the gold rush is, and so the network operators realize that. They're having hackathons all the time where they get together in these big groups and they have prizes for the different type of applications they can provide. And they really, really are moving developers from the back room up into the front. And there's even terms for them now. What's one of them called? A programmer?
Programmer.
Well, I think the
That's a
term
real
hackathon, too, most people that aren't familiar with it would associate something negative with it.
Yeah, but no, it's a very positive thing. It's actually a great showcase for developers. It's a great place for people to find talent and also to learn about the process of development and developing for different types of platforms, like you said. So iOS, Android, Windows. There's a lot of different platforms out there that they can develop towards. So going to these hackathons give them an opportunity to learn, but also to get paid for it. You know, you can win a prize, and most of them are free. And it's just a great place for developers to come and meet, and then for companies to also look for talent.
Yeah.
So people, what are most of your clients then looking for? Because you guys kind of take a kind of have a client, and then you're creating apps for them, right? In this skin.
So we actually, our partners are the AT&Ts. They're the mobile network operators, right? Mm-hmm. And so we go to them and ask them, what type of applications are your customers hungry for? And then we build them and we send them off to them. We do partner with companies. So our clients would be anyone that has an existing application that's more geared towards the feature phone user. And if they're not focused on it anymore, which a lot of people aren't, which is nice for us because the competition is slowly migrating to those open platforms. Mm-hmm. We take them on as clients and we'll, get them into all of the new emerging marketplaces.
Yeah, it's a little different business model than most people are utilizing right now, but that's why we feel like we have such a unique place in the market as well.
Well, it sounds like there'd be, you think about the app stores. I mean, that's just how people think about it. But, to have a different marketing avenue to get these apps on people's phones, I mean, it seems that would be, you're not going after a small piece of the biggest pie, but there's some small pie out there and you can get a chunk of it.
No, actually, it is the big pie.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, there's over 70% of the mobile phone users in the entire world are still using feature phones.
Yeah, and they don't have the smartphones, I guess, would be the alternative term. Yeah,
exactly. So that's why when Joe talks about the emerging markets, it's
so what's the difference between a feature phone and a smartphone?
Everything before a smartphone was a feature phone.
Oh, okay, got it.
Basically a non-touchscreen phone.
Well, yeah, some of them are getting a little different now, but yeah, everything that came before is basically a feature phone.
Got it. So, okay.
You remember the old phone?
Yeah, it's got the little joystick type thing on it.
Your razors.
Yeah, your razors.
Got it.
The chocolate, all that.
And that's why you go after these emerging markets.
Yeah, because it's still very prevalent in those
that's
markets.
where they're getting the phones.
And they're cheap and they're hungry. They're starved for applications.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and it helps too when we go to all of these mobile conferences that we stand a good 1 foot taller than everybody else. It's easy to make contacts in the room. You're wearing an NFC championship ring. Kerry's got 2 Canadian Football League championship rings on. I mean, it makes it easy.
I don't wear 2 of them at the same time.
You should.
Oh.
So then, coming then from the football industry, again, we're here with Joe Tafoya and Kerry Carter, guys. We just have a couple minutes left before we have to go to break. But so how did you end up in this industry coming from football? Because it just doesn't seem like the natural transition.
It's not.
Well, we kind of got together, and when we were looking at different opportunities, we wanted to find something in an industry that was growing, that was basically poised to explode, and we just saw that mobile was there. You know, everyone was talking about it. They were making such huge gains. The app market was really starting to take center stage, and you know, the opportunity that we saw with this company, luckily we knew some people that were involved in the company before, so it was just a timing thing for us. And we really, it's kind of a build versus buy scenario. We wanted to get into the industry, but if we went in like every other company and started at the bottom and worked our way up, it's about credibility. So we decided to buy our credibility, buy a 10-year history, and learn the business along the way. So the last 3 years has been, it's been our master's program, our MBA. We've learned a lot about this business and a lot about, what our position in this market can be as thought leaders.
We've also learned a lot about who we are, too, because like I was saying earlier, you go through this transition where you have to really identify yourself. Now, there is a real statistic out there where 80%, this is a real statistic, 80% of guys in the NFL, when they retire, 2 years later, they're going through some type of a financial hardship and a divorce. And so for us, we are trying to, make the stand here that it's not like that for everybody. Mm-hmm. And there are some real positive cases here. So thanks for having us on your show too, by the way.
Well, it's great to have you. And, people are always people have to transition.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
To find people, to transition, whether it's into a new home, which is a lot of what we talk about, transition into a financial plan, it's always a new thing. And so, you guys took something you knew nothing about and you transitioned into it and found a company to help you do that, essentially, with Viva Vision.
Right.
And so now you guys are the professionals doing it. And,
that's right. Now we can pass the ladder back down. Some guys that are finishing up with their careers in the NFL we're looking to hire. And, it's a very interesting story. And I know you're coming to the end of the hour here, but at one point I was sitting on my couch with a boot. I had just gotten injured, and seems like a lot of people are having that moment in life where they realize, oh my goodness, what am I going to do next? How am I going to pay these bills? The economy, they lose their job, there's a death, something happens, and you have to re-identify yourself, and you have to redefine who you are. And so some of those things that we learned along the way, playing football and just being tenacious and good students of the game, that all transfers over. So
we call that AI, athletic intelligence. We're transferring it over to the business world.
There you go. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us. We do have to go to break, but when we come back, you guys know him as Dennis Gibbs. So do we. And I guarantee he's got something interesting to say this time about LIBOR. Thanks so much to Joe Tafoya and Kerry Carter for joining us in studio. We'll be right back after this break.